The Australian outback is home to many a tale. One such story is of Ned Kelly, the last great bushranger. Basically a 19th century outlaw known for stealing horses and wearing a homemade suit of bulletproof armor. Just think Billy the Kid, but upside down. Ned Kelly was born to parents Red Kelly and Ellen Quinn, sometime between December 1854 and June 1855. Now look, I know it was pretty common back in the day for people to not know the exact date of their birth, but you'd think Mr. and Mrs. Quinn would at least remember the month or year that their eldest child was born. But whatever, maybe that's why he turned to a life of crime so quickly. He was only 14, or, 13 and a half, again, mom couldn't be bothered to write down the date, when he got involved with a bushranger named Harry Power. He was then promptly arrested for getting involved with a bushranger named Harry Power. But the charges didn't stick, with Power assuming that Ned ratted on him in exchange for a plea deal. In reality, it was an issue with the witnesses, but regardless, Ned was promptly kicked out of the Power gang for his assumed digressions. Gotta say, I would have expected Power to give Ned the old Colombian necktie on account of the whole gang leader thing, but I guess deep down, Power was really just a stand-up guy. The next few years were relatively uneventful for Ned, especially if you ignore all the assault and horse robbery he committed. And the next major chapter of his life didn't begin until Constable Fitzpatrick showed up at the family homestead looking to arrest Ned's younger brother, Dan. Real original names there, Mom. This didn't go very well for Fitzpatrick, who got himself shot in the hand as the two brothers escaped. Not wanting to leave empty-handed and deciding that a measly bullet wound wouldn't cut it, Fitzpatrick arrested the boy's mother for aiding and abetting a wanted fugitive. Ellen Quinn was allotted 3 years imprisonment, and Ned was sentenced to death by hanging, which is a tad preemptive if you ask me, considering they weren't even able to catch the guy yet. Meanwhile, the Kelly bros met up with a couple of their friends, Steve Hart and Joe Byrne, igniting the formal start of the Kelly gang. Now a gang of wanted criminals and attempted cop killers, their first order of business was, and try not to laugh now, but their first order of business in evading the police was to open a whiskey distillery. Yeah. This was in the hopes of raising enough money to appeal Ellen's sentence, a nice gesture considering she didn't even remember what year her kid was born. Yes, I'm still on that. Anyway, it wasn't long before the criminal quartet was alerted that the police were hot on their trail. Not wanting to sit around like a couple of ducks, Ned's posse hopped on their horses and took a look around, successfully ambushing the pursuing police. Just as soon as they had found them, the Kelly gang killed 3 of the cops and let the 4th surrender. Yes, you heard that right. The Australian police force sent a grand total of 4 guys to take care of a violent gang already proven to be willing and capable of shooting at police officers. Regardless, it turns out that killing 75% of a police squad tends to draw attention from the local government, an eventuality the Kelly gang was prepared for. Using an unsafe blend of mold boards and plow blades, they constructed thick, heavy suits of improvised armor that would protect them from even close-range gunshots. They also captured an entire town to use as their base, which is apparently something they could just kinda do. It was a small village called Glenrowan in eastern Victoria. The police were forced to pull out the proverbial trebuchet and lay siege on the town, but it proved to be an uphill battle, not only due to the bulletproof nature of the gang's armor, but also because of their unsettling appearance. Between the dim morning light and the thick fog, the Kellys looked like a group of gun-toting monsters, being described as the headless ghosts of Hamlet's father by a journalist that was apparently just hanging out in the middle of a gang war. Kudos to him, I guess. However, while they may have been ghoulishly stylish, their metallic suits weren't exactly built with mobility in mind. And so, one by one, the gang members grew exhausted, collapsed, and died, with Ned Kelly himself being the only survivor. Well, survivor in quotes. He didn't exactly escape his encounter with the police, and as you may remember, he was already given a death sentence even before stepping foot in a courthouse. While there has been some debate over what Kelly's last words really were, my favorite of the batch has to be, "Ah well, such is life." I mean, come on, that's just asking to be embroidered on a pillow or something. Anyway, that's pretty much all I have on this subject, but if you liked it, then let me know. People have been committing crimes for quite a while now, so I'm sure I'll be able to find some more outlaw stories if anybody's interested. With that being said, until next time, don't die. See you later.